America, and welcome to Invent America, because America invents.
This episode of Invent America TV is brought to you by America's Inventor Lady and Home Talk USA. Home Talk is a proud member of the King's Broadcasting Network and has been bringing to you the best of America's home-based product innovation since 1998. This segment of Invent America TV is brought to you by the law offices of R.P. Baraska. RPB law offices have been bringing corporate-level legal expertise to the independent inventor community for more than 20 years. For all your inventing legal needs, trust rpblawoffices.com.
The Invent America Show. This is Invent America Show on Invent America Radio, and I'm your co-host, the Cajun Contractor, Michael King. So welcome all of you. And now I'd like to welcome to the show the Inventor Lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton. Miss Rita.
Hello there.
Welcome again. All right. Welcome again. Like going on here. And I want to welcome, since last week, we had a great conversation last week, but each week, every week, we try to tackle a different subject. But this is going to be a very special show. It's because we're going to have a couple guests from our neighbors up north. People don't realize that Home Talk USA, even though we broadcast on radio stations here in the States, but we stream live all across the world. We have about 34 streaming platforms. We have people that catch us in Germany, Great Britain, Australia, that catches the show through our online stream. So this show is not limited to the United States, and that's the point. And we're going to have some guests on. But with that being said, I think, I'm sure our Canadian friends up there have the same issues we have here in the States when it comes to, now their laws are, some of the laws are different and protection laws are different, but at the end of the day, they're carrying the same problems we're having, right, Rita?
Absolutely. Inventors are inventors. I don't really care what their zip code is or, what town they're living in. It's all about, the cool products. And we've got probably a half a dozen or more inventors that live in different areas in Canada that we've helped get their products into the marketplace. And, they've got the same issues we do: price points, intellectual property, manufacturing, and then the marketing. Hello. And so, when we're able to help get the word out about these cool products,
yep,
it's wonderful. It's exciting to see, somebody really start taking off.
So, and I know Anna's going to be our guest, and she's from Canada, and she's going to talk about this when we come back off a break. But on the surface, there is some issues here, and of course we talked about, which I'm not going to get into the politics of this because we do that on the Made in America show. But there has been some issues when we already addressed the tariff issue and, the things that are so important. But, the United States, we consider Canada, that's like our big sister. We're the big brother, they're the big sister, and these both countries, not get into the politics, but I think they get their politics out of this because they're doing too much of this stuff that's really hurting both people when they want to talk into the political realm, when these two countries really need each other. And I just don't understand it. And it's going to take a show like this to make these politicians understand that, we have the same issues. So let's address these issues. And the only way we can do this is have our guests from up north to come up and help us a little bit and find out what's going on over there so we can help them and we can help our listeners also. Rita?
Absolutely. I think for the most part, you got, your regular folks here and your regular folks there. And it's like, what do you need? Let me see what I've got. Neighbors, we're neighbors. Neighbors help each other. And so when we look then at, the few cranky pants that just want to control everything and make money off of all of us, it makes all of us, regular neighbors, a little punchy. And, I live out here in the forest. I've got some really wonderful neighbors and I've got some punchy neighbors. And when you look now at our neighboring country, they're right there. We all speak the same language. Sometimes we, a Texas accent, Quebec accent, okay, they're a little different, but hey, we're all still speaking the same language and we all enjoy the products. We all respect the inventor. And so when we can help get the word out of a cool new invention, well, yay.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and not only that, I want to mention something personal about me. I'm a Cajun. Now, y'all call us Cajuns, but there's no such thing as a Cajun. My ancestry comes from Nova Scotia and New Brunswick and the area of Canada, from Great Britain and France. So the point is, there is a lot of connections to our Canadian heritage. Let's face it, everybody talks about being here and being an American. Yes, that's fine. Yes, you could, you can go to, unless you're from Canada, you're not going to be a Canadian. Unless you're from Great Britain, you're not going to be a British. But at the end of the day, anybody can come here in the United States and be an American. The point I'm trying to make is there's only one nationality that's been here, and that's the American Indian. They are here. They are the original American. We all immigrants. So at the end of the day, just back off a little bit and learn from our Canadian businesses. And that's what I like about some of these trade shows, when I can get the Canadian companies on and interview them with the American and find a little bit feedback. But man, we can learn from them just like they can learn from us. Right, Rita?
Absolutely. And, when there's, I think the biggest issue is when they're shipping a large container of stuff. But when they're shipping out a few here and there, selling online and everything, it's not as big of an issue. So all of you folks out there that are starting to think about Christmas, all right, you want to pay attention to this show because it is right around the corner. And that is what we're going to be talking about with Anna's product. It's a Christmas product. And oh my goodness, her photographs online are so cute.
Wow.
And, it's almost July.
How did you run across her? How did you run across her? How did
online.
You find out about
Online? Yeah.
Wow.
She reached out to me and said, hey, I've got a product. Will you, take a look at it? And so, it's like, oh my God, this is so cute. I sent it to my daughter because she's got 2 little boys. And she says, how fast can I get one?
Wow.
And it was, June, because it was only a couple of weeks ago. So Anna joined us then last week at the Inventor Roundtable meeting. So I got to meet her. And it's like, how fast can I get you on the radio?
So her product is on the market now.
Yes, it is.
Okay, yeah. So, and I do want to talk to her about when the stages for her to get to the stage to get her market, get her product on the market, and find out her road, her road that she had to travel.
Well, it's always fun to ask, how did you come up with this? Because you know what, we have been putting up Christmas trees for 100 years.
Yeah.
They were never like this. Yeah. And so, what was it a cat playing around in there that got you going? Or, what was going on in your head when you go, oh, let's do it like this. And, holy cow.
Hey, let's face it, people are more charitable around Christmas season anyway, when it comes to product and technologies. And, it just it's a time of year where everybody just, just lay down their arms and lay down their, so at the end of the day, when you can have a Christmas related product or something, there's a good chance it's going to succeed if it has the Christmas theme, you know what I mean?
Oh, especially when it looks like this, because this is beautiful. It's really beautiful. She sent me a ton of images. It is beautiful.
Wow. Well, Rita, I tell you, I'm excited to have her, and we got to take a short break, and we're gonna just keep the ball rolling on what it's like to cross some lines, and talk about some challenges that we both face, and maybe we can help each other out too. Right?
Yep, absolutely. The different products that we have been able to work with from Canada. We've got one lady that she went to the trade show with us. She had the coolest kitchen towel. Who would have thought you could come up with something new on kitchen towels? And she's working now with Pronto Launch in an acquisition. And then we've got another gentleman that's got a baseball cap that you interchange the different logos on it, and they pop on and off. It is so cool. So, it's a lot of fun to see the different inventors. They're so much like us. They're just so much like us.
All right.
Cool new products. Let's get them to market.
All right. Well, we're going to take a short break. You are listening to the Invent America show on the Invent America radio. I'm the Cajun Contractor, Michael King. This is Rita Crompton, the Inventor Lady herself. Don't forget, at the top of the third hour, we're going to welcome all of you to tune into the Made in America show. It's another show that we do here on the King's Broadcasting family. I'm the Cajun Contractor, Michael King, along with the Inventor Lady herself. We're going to take a short break, got to pay some bills, and we are streaming live on the World Wide Web at HometalkUSA.com. We'll be right back. Y'all come back now, you hear?
This segment of Invent America TV is brought to you by SearchQuest Patent Search. SearchQuest provides for a comprehensive patent search that searches the entire world and not just the U.S. Patent Office. Make sure that before you spend those big bucks having a patent written, you've done your due diligence by getting a comprehensive patent search. Use SearchQuestPatents.com for all your patent search needs. They scour the world for you.
So my guest for this show is Anna Marie Dinu from Quebec. Oh, I love your accent, my dear. It is wonderful. So, we talked a little bit about you in the first segment and what you invented. Tell our listeners, what did you invent?
Yeah, hi everyone. So I'm Anna Maria from Quebec City, Canada, and I have invented the only Christmas tree in the world. Children can actually go inside to play, to read, or even wait for Santa.
It is so cool. It really is. And the fun thing is, you call it Magical Underland.
Underland, yes.
It's how did you come up with not just the name, but what was your wow moment on putting it, the whole thing together?
Oh, so it's been more than 2 years in developing, right? So it was when my daughter Laura was like almost 7 months old. She was crawling, and for Christmas, of course, like everyone, we had our Christmas tree in the living room, right? So she went to the Christmas tree and like grabbed the branch, and the Christmas tree was like moving like that, Oh my God, and I was scared, so could fell on her, right? And I said, no, we take this out. But I have my son who was at that moment 13 years old, and he wanted to decorate, right? So what we can do in that, that moment, and with my husband, okay, let's see, we already had a plate and we said, okay, let's look around, maybe a plate to have branches on the exterior, like to decorate also, but nothing like this existed on the market, nothing. So we started with my husband 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks back and forth, making stable, for that Christmas time. Our friends and family loved it. So then we started to develop, right? So now more than 2 years, we have it's a patenting in United States, Christmas tree, 10 children, and now pets can actually go inside to play,
Well, it's funny because so many people have cats, and the cats,
yes,
they will tip over a tree in a heartbeat and think it's just a fun afternoon.
Of course.
And some of the things, you've got really nice ornaments on there, and the next thing you know, they're in pieces on the ground. So having a stable, fun, your trees are absolutely gorgeous, and especially when the kids are sitting inside, like a tent. How did you come up with the name Magical Underland?
So, of course, with my son, we said, okay, it's magical. When my son saw it, oh my God, it's magical. Under, he will go with my daughter also under the Christmas tree. So Magical Underland. It's a land because inside the Christmas tree, there is voice-activated infinity lights. So when children tap hands or sing song, the lighting, the intensity of the lights will change. So it's wonderful magical space outside of the Christmas tree, but also inside the Christmas tree.
So it's more than a decoration, it's an experience.
It's an experience. So it's I wanted to have, we are parents, right? So I know when I buy things everywhere, right? So I want to be valuable for children and for parents, year round. So it's a play tent year round with the infinity light. My daughter likes to play inside the play tent, and read books and play with the dolls, right? So it's a read year-round play tent, and for Christmas you just add the Christmas tree branches on top, and children can decorate as they wish.
Well, it is magicalunderland.com. And
Yes.
so anybody that wants to see, she's got beautiful pictures. So anybody out there that, you've got, like you said, it's a tent in the summertime and the rest of the year, and then you decorate it for Christmas during the holiday season, and it's beautiful. It is just absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
You know,
One,
applause to you
one,
because it is
one thing,
wonderful.
yeah. One thing that I've learned, of course, as parents, is that we are not just buying a product. We are investing, and we want an experience, right, for our children to make memories and laugh year after year, right? So this was, of course, developing the product, but the core of our, our brand. We want families to have magical time with children for Christmas and beyond Christmas.
So, Anna, we're going to be
Yeah.
taking a break here in just about 60 seconds. But,
Yeah.
when we come back, we want to talk about the challenges and the things that you've had
Yeah,
to overcome.
definitely.
But where are you manufacturing right now?
So the product is manufactured overseas in China, 3 different factories, and actually now we are in the final stages of production for this upcoming season. Yes.
Excellent, excellent. So, everybody, stick with us. We're going to be right back with Anna Maria and to talk about some more of the steps that she has gone through to get this product teed up for you. If you are an inventor out there and you've got any questions, get in touch with me. I'm happy to answer. If you need an attorney, let me know. If you've got product to sell and you want to be on the radio, oh yeah, there are 52 Mondays a year, and I am always looking for another guest. So stick with us. We will be back with some more information. And then our industry expert is Kevin Cody. I'm looking forward to introducing him to Anna Maria because I sent him your website already. So stick with us, everybody. We will be right back.
If you're an inventor or you know an inventor out there who would just like to be able to have a conversation with other inventors, join the Inventors Roundtable. It's free. The meetings are virtual, so you can be anywhere in America and talk to another inventor. And for a lot of folks out there, understanding the process, being able to ask questions, getting good service provider information is critical to the inventing process. So, got questions? Want to join? It's free. inventorsroundtable.org.
And thank you so much for being with us for this segment of Invent America, because America invents, and just a little tagline there, so does Canada. So this segment is brought to you by RPB Law Offices. RPB Law Offices have been bringing corporate level legal expertise to the independent inventor community for more than 20 years. So for all of your inventing legal needs, trust rpblawoffices.com. And, Michael and I always talk about all the years together, the two of us who've got over 50 years experience working with inventors and bringing those product and services to you, the American consumer. So it is absolutely a pleasure when I get to introduce a new product to all of you, because you know what? It doesn't matter if we're inventing if you're not out there buying. So we want to make sure that you know where to go and get this really awesome new Magical Underland Christmas decoration that, oh yeah, you could actually leave up all year long. Anna Maria, thank you so much for being with us. Inventing is not easy. I don't care what side of the line you're living on. So you were just getting ready to start selling inventory.
Yes.
So
It was in my living room prototypes, other prototypes, right, with my children running and developing the product. Last year, a bit the marathons. Last year in November, with the Kickstarter campaign, it was successfully. So parents and grandparents were able to secure one, the first one that will came out. From the factory. So this was a really great help for me because developing a lot of prototypes. Right, there are legal fees. Even things. So the product, the Magical Underland Christmas tent, it's patent pending in the United States. It takes time and more legal fees to have it granted. Right. So the campaign and backs really help me, move forward with launching. So now we are in the final stages of the production, and then we'll start delivering to our first customers, and then shipping in United States.
all right, so you'll be ready to start shipping then to the US for the holiday season. What are
Yes.
some of the challenges that you've had to deal with to get that into place?
Oh my gosh, where do I start? Right, from prototypes to prototypes. So yeah, there are challenges, finding the right attorney, the right people that to give us. I'm not in this industry, right? I'm a mom, and I have come up with this idea because my two children, right? And then when I was putting in front of it, okay, legal fees, attorneys, overseas, finding factories, suppliers, having agreements, and then agreements, NDA agreements, So then marketing, social media, had to learn every step, and of course there is challenges at every step.
Oh, absolutely. And, we frequently look at this is that all of the challenges that you've already dealt with, all right, from the intellectual property to the prototyping to the manufacturing, it's going to cost you an equal amount to do the marketing, and it's going to take much longer and be much harder. And we call it mouth marketing when we're getting things teed up, because marketing is really crazy.
Yeah. I've been starting to learn all the social media like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, posting. I am doing everything right, because even hiring someone will add additional expensive. So we want to keep, things simple. But yeah, learning. And I had really great feedback from people that were showing the product. I was only with my two prototypes at the toy fair in Chicago, and the children, when they saw it, they knew what to do, right? They go right inside the Christmas tree, and they didn't want to come out, right? And parents, I got feedback on the spot, maybe like that, maybe like that, maybe like that, right? Directly from parents. So it was really, really supporting and challenging, every step moving forward. It's another challenge that we need to achieve, right?
Oh, absolutely. And the best place to get market research is at a show like the one you went to in Chicago, because so many people will pay for market research, and it's, you don't get anything back for it. They'll say, oh, it's a great product, and do this and do that and put it on social media. It's like, I don't want you to tell me to do it. I'm paying you to do it. So if you're not going to do it, then let me go someplace else. And you can get more market research in 3 or 4 days at a trade show than you can in 6 months online.
Yeah. This was exactly what happened to us. We went only with two prototypes, 2 days, right? And then children, families, grandparents, they come, they saw it. It is stable, everyone, because our children, they are running everywhere, and okay, it is stable because we have every parent has this problem at home. The Christmas tree only staying in one, over there. So sometimes may fall down. So everyone try it. Okay, it's really, really stable.
So what's next? I mean, you've got your first run coming in for this 2026 holiday season, but where
Yeah.
do you want to go from there? I mean, it's people always say, what's the next step? And so a lot of inventors, they kind of hit a ceiling for them, and everybody's a little bit different. So it's like, all right, well, I've hit my ceiling. Now what? So what is your goal? What are you trying to get to?
Okay, so the biggest challenge is letting people know the product exists, right? So it's a new idea, so we need to show it people. When they see it, they understand the product right away. So now my goal is to make the Magical Underland Christmas treat and a Christmas tradition for all families. So on social media, website, put it over there, and I did some trade shows also, thinking to go more to trade shows, because it's a visual product. Retailers, partnership, licensing, they need to see it, and then moving to customers, next step.
Well, I think that the ability for an inventor to license their product. You license your intellectual property, so somebody else is going to make it, sell it, and send you a check. That's when the inventor finally gets to go to the bank to put money into the account instead of always going to the bank to draw money out of the account.
Out the bank. This is our case right now. Right?
Exactly. And the thing is the fun part of, if you license it, all right, you still get to do the fun part. You can still go to some of the shows. You can still be the spokesperson for the product, but you don't have to do the heavy lifting. And for a lot of inventors, if they're infringed on, they can't afford to fight the legal fight themselves. And so
so
get somebody that gives them a helping hand, protect them, that makes a big difference. So, it's just you do one step at a time, but you look then at different options that you have. And so for a lot of inventors, I know that,
of course, I am, of course, I'm looking to sell direct to customers. Direct to customers, and then retail partnership, and I am open to licensing opportunities as well.
Well, and the fun thing is that if you're selling one at a time, it's really a challenge. If you're selling 100 at a time, well, that's a lot more fun.
Yes, definitely.
Well, we're going to see if we can't get you teed up to being selling 100 at a time during this holiday season, so that you'll think your biggest problem is that you've run out of inventory and they have to order for 2027. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Oh my God! Yeah. Of course. It's been so challenging the last 2 years. So now seeing already, right, the website live, the production, the samples, everything is there. It's amazing.
So, well, thank you so much for being on with us, Anna Marie Dinu from Quebec. And we will be right back with Kevin Cody, our industry expert, and talk a little bit more about the challenges of selling products from across the line.
TrueUp, easiest way to hang your pictures. We all know how stressful picture hanging can get. TrueUp comes with everything you need to level and hang pictures with no damage and no mess. Just peel, apply the adhesive to the back of the TrueUp mount and press firmly. Remove the remaining adhesive. Use the level and press and hold for 3 to 5 seconds to attach the TrueUp mount to your wall with a strong hold. The TrueUp frame adapter is compatible with most frames on the market. Apply the adhesive strip to the adapter, stick, and your frame hangs easily on the wall mount. This lets you adjust your picture side to side for perfect placement every time. The possibilities are limitless, and it's easy on your walls. Picture hanging can be truly a one-person job. TrueUp, the future of hanging is here.
And thank you so much for being with us for this segment of Invent America, because America invents. My industry expert for this segment is Mr. Kevin Cody. He is CEO and founder of FLI Products. Kevin, thank you so much for being with us again this afternoon.
Great to see you. Thank you so much for having me.
So what is FLI Products?
So we're a small company, really, that comes alongside other small companies as well and help them commercialize their products. Simply put, we help them from soup to nuts, really, with the exception of a handful of things that we're just not um, as adept at as you certainly are, doing everything that you do. But from bringing the concept in development all the way through to the shelf is basically what we do.
Well, it's always a challenge, and different industries have different challenges. I know some of the products that you take. We've had a lot of your inventors, the products that you've taken on. They're always my go-to list of, when I need somebody on, because you do help inventors get wonderful products into the marketplace.
Yeah, we do our best. Obviously, there's a sort of a process that we go through of reviewing the products and understanding the market, as well as making sure that we are putting it in the places where it's going to have the greatest opportunity for success. And that's what we've really tried to focus our time and attention on.
So how do you decide? What are you looking for to bring a new product into your lineup?
Every product is a little bit different. Obviously, every company is a little bit different. And so I don't like to ever pigeonhole anybody or any product into a given market, or the given size of the given size of a company. But I sure do want to be as objective as possible. There are oftentimes products that we like or love that are just a flop.
I know, been there, done that. Yeah.
Yep. And then there are some that you'd say really question the either viability of the product in the marketplace, the pricing, or the capabilities of the company. And then all of a sudden it just takes off, and you have a whole bunch of fun doing it. So we try to go through the process of making sure that we understand all of the use cases for the product, certainly the capabilities of the company. We favor US made products all over. And so if there is an opportunity to make sure that we are optimizing production here in the US, that is something that we really take into consideration extremely strongly. And then we're looking at pricing, we're looking at all of our capabilities, and then taking that all into consideration, thinking, are we going to be the best ones to bring this product to market? Because the last thing we want to do is spend time and effort doing commercializing a product and then finding out that, well, maybe for one reason or another that we're not, because there's an awful lot of investment, as you know, along the way, that if you're not tuned in completely, then you could be wasting substantial time, and time is nothing that any of us have much of anymore.
Well, that's true. That's one thing we cannot invent.
No.
You can always go back to work and earn more money, but you cannot make more time. And
Right.
I wish somebody would figure that out. So, whatever, get me a crystal ball. So,
Yeah.
Anna she lives in Quebec. All right. She's manufacturing in China. She's got her first shipment coming in for this holiday season. What kind of, suggestions do you have for her as far as, getting the word out about the product? She's already been doing a lot of social media. She's obviously, when you're selling one at a time, is not nearly as productive as selling 100 at a time. What kind of advice, as we wrap up this episode of Invention in America, or Invent America, give her some advice.
First of all, congratulations on getting where she is today. That's fantastic news to see that somebody takes an idea and a concept and actually has the time and effort to be able to source it correctly and be able to get it here. That is a gargantuan effort. And oftentimes people just don't understand how much is involved in doing that. But the fact that she's got it this far is fantastic. the next thing is be laser focused on where the product is most likely going to sell, because maybe in her case, but I see it in an awful lot of others, is a wholesaler may be better than a retailer, and direct to consumer may be better than all the rest. Really have to stay laser focused on making sure that you avoid the shiny objects. It's great to think that all these retailers could have the product, but the reality is today, in today's world, especially with AI, the amount of work that's done up front by the merchants tracking down products like hers are just incredible.
It's a challenge for sure. So, Kevin, thank you so much for being my industry expert today. Anna Marie Dinu, thank you so much for joining us from Quebec, and we are going to see what we can do to help. Thanks, everyone, for joining us today. We will be back next week with more stories on getting products from mind to market. We will have new inventors and industry experts. So join us and have a wonderful week.